So, when you hear the word yoga, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's a workout, right? Getting flexible, maybe de-stressing a bit. But what if I told you that all those physical poses, they're just the tip of the iceberg? Yeah, today we're going to go way beyond the mat to find out what yoga is really all about. And spoiler alert, it has way more to do with your mind than your muscles.
I mean, this is the image we all know, right? It's that system of exercise that promises a slim, flexible, and beautiful body. We see it everywhere. Magazine covers, celebrity Instagrams. It's become this huge global thing for fitness and managing stress. And look, that's the version of yoga that's been perfectly packaged and sold to us in the modern world.
But is that it? Is that the whole story? I mean, are we really getting everything this ancient system has to offer by basically treating it like a fancy stretching class? It kind of makes you wonder, right? Are we just dipping our toes in this massive ocean that could potentially take us to a whole different level of awareness?
All right, so let's get into it. To really get what yoga is, we've got to go back, way back to its roots, and see what it originally meant. Because that's where the real power is hiding. Okay, so the word yoga itself, it comes from the Sanskrit root yuj. And yuj means to yoke, or to, bring things together. Think about yoking a team of horses to a chariot. It's all about control, coordination, bringing separate things into one unit. And that's the whole idea in a spiritual sense, too. Yoga is the practice of, yoking our individual self with something bigger, a higher consciousness.
And if you look at the classic texts, like the Yoga Sutras, from the sage Patanjali, he gives this incredible definition. He says yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. And what that means is calming the fluctuations of the mind. Did you catch that? The focus isn't on the body at all. It's about getting your mind to be still. It's basically a definition of meditation.
And this really hits the nail on the head. If you look at all the ancient texts, the Yoga Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita, you name it, they all talk about yoga as meditation, as finding balance, as expanding your consciousness. The physical poses, what we call asanas, they were just never the main event, not even close.
So you see this massive difference, right? Modern yoga is almost all about the asanas, the postures for getting physically fit. But traditionally, the asanas were barely even mentioned. Get this, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, there are over 200 little verses, and only 2 of them even talk about postures. And their only job was to get your body strong and stable enough so you could sit for a long, long time in meditation without getting distracted.
And here's another thing. Yoga isn't just one practice. It's more like a giant tree with all these different branches. All of them are different paths, sure, but they're all leading to the same place, self-realization.
So, traditionally, there are 5 main paths. You've got Jnana Yoga, which is the path of knowledge and insight. Then there's Bhakti Yoga, all about devotion and love. Karma Yoga is the path of selfless action. After that, you have Raja Yoga, kind of the royal path that pulls the others together. And finally, there's Hatha Yoga, and that's the one that uses physical techniques like the postures, mantras, and breath control to get where it's going.
And this is a really important point. When you hear about different styles of yoga today, like Iyengar or Ashtanga or Vinyasa flow, we're mostly talking about pretty recent inventions that are just different ways of doing the physical postures. They are not the same thing as these huge, ancient spiritual paths we just talked about.
So, the big question is, how do we connect these two worlds? How do we take all this deep, ancient wisdom and actually use it in our modern lives? Well, it all comes down to getting back to that original purpose. And the key, the absolute key, is to remember this one thing. The poses are the warm-up, not the main event. The whole point of the physical practice is to get your body strong and flexible enough so that it can just sit still, comfortably. That way, when you do the real work, the meditation, your body doesn't get in the way. No aches, no fidgeting, no distractions. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to bring some of this into my own practice, here are a few ideas for shifting your mindset. All right, first up, find a dedicated time and place. And I don't just mean squeeze it into your schedule. I mean make it an intentional ritual. That sends a signal to your brain that this time is special. Second, be patient with yourself. Seriously, this isn't about nailing a pose in a week. It's a lifelong journey. Third, and this one's a big one, drop the competition. Our whole fitness world is about being the best, right? But in yoga, there's no winning or losing. You just show up. The real goal is what's happening on the inside. Fourth, and this is so important, always remember why you're doing the postures. They are a tool to get your body ready for the main event, stillness and meditation. And finally, just end every single practice with a moment of gratitude.
Thank your body, thank your breath, thank the fact that you have this time to connect. It's a really simple but powerful way to wrap things up.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this has always been about. The true goal of yoga isn't a better body, it's self-realization. The whole system was designed to take you on a journey inward, to your deepest self, to help you tap into a kind of consciousness that's bigger than our day-to-day reality, something beyond time and space.
So yeah, it's so much more than a workout. It's this incredibly deep philosophical and spiritual tradition. The next time you step onto your mat, maybe just ask yourself, what am I really doing here? What is this practice actually connecting me to?